Joe. I'm your host, Bruce Mitchum, and we got a lot to talk about, okay? So much so I'm mulling it over in my head. Let me get a hit first. So, anyway, first nationally, they're fighting over the wall, okay? Border wall, it might get built, it might not. It just all depends because there's already so many sections of it that have been built. And where that wall is, it's been extremely effective. However, sections where that wall is not, sections where they've only got a flimsy little chain link fence, or even worse, a flimsy 1800 style farm fence that is only like 4 feet tall. I'm telling you, the friggin' illegals can jump over that and run through. Okay? What happened with the caravan? One of the Honduran nationalists, okay, who came up in the caravan, you won't hear this on CNN, struck down and killed a 13-year-old girl while she was on her way to a Christmas party. Anyway, nationally, so they're also saying, speaking of Christmas, Rudolph, Frosty, and all that shit is racist now. Why? Okay? Is it because Frosty's too white? Is it because Rudolph's nose is red? You have to ask yourself, why is it racist? Anyway, so, next, let's talk about our problems at home here. Reno is a cesspool now, okay? It has been steadily becoming a cesspool since 2014. I remember when I used to come up here, before I moved here, starting in 1995, this city had lots of beautiful urban beauty, okay? This place was a great place to live. People from all walks of life could live here. We had the budget motels that were cheap by the month, and so people even on Social Security disability who loved this city could live here. Since 2014, we've seen a steadily closing of these budget motels. We have seen families and people displaced by the closing. We've seen more people on the streets, sleeping in alleys, right in the streets, in parks, under bridges, drug needles everywhere. This place is becoming a huge cesspool of bullshit. Whose fault is it? Mayor Sheeves, of course. For years, the colleges have wanted to buy these buildings that were the monthly motels. They wanted to buy several of these buildings and turn them into student housing. Okay? So what did they do? They had their lobbyists give Mayor Sheev like a cash donation to her re-election fund. Lots of money, mind you. But in exchange, she's going to pass ordinances to make sure that these inexpensive monthly motels close down. She's going to pass these extreme ordinances that says these ordinances that she's passed say they have to put in full kitchens. Bullshit. To comply with the law, they could keep the kitchenette with the microwave and fridge. Okay? All they'd have to do is put in a sink for people to wash their dishes. They don't have to put in a full kitchen. As long as they have a kitchen sink, because under health code laws, you're not allowed to wash your dishes in the bathroom because of health code violations. People can't wash their dishes in the bathroom. Although that's what people used to do when they lived in these monthly motels. They used to wash their dishes right in the bathroom. But all the owners would have to do is put in a sink. Small sink, just big enough to wash and rinse dishes in, and a little countertop to put a dish dryer. I mean, that wouldn't take much. That wouldn't be that expensive. But no, Mayor Sheev made it seem like these people had to put in full kitchens with stoves and ovens and all that stuff, when all they'd have to do is put in a kitchen sink to wash the dishes, and they would be in compliance with the law. So a lot of them who thought they would have to spend thousands and thousands on putting in full kitchens with stoves and everything just decided it's easier to close up and just abandon the building. But, yeah, these crooked ordinances must stop. We must gather signatures against Mayor Sheev and her agenda, because she seems to have a globalist agenda where she doesn't want the low-income people living here anymore unless they're living on the streets or in homeless shelters. She doesn't want low-income people to thrive in any way. She's an evil globalist Luciferian and needs to be stopped. We as people of Reno have the power to stop her. We can gather signatures to hold a recall and get her sorry ass out of office once and for all. Once a new mayor is in, could be me, could be Eddie Lorton, could be anybody. But once we got a new mayor in who actually wants to work for the people, the monthly motels will be able to reopen as long as they put in sinks to wash the dishes and nothing else, okay? Don't believe this bullshit Mayor Sheev says about them having to put in full kitchens. All they have to do is put in kitchen sinks to wash the dishes and then have a fridge and a microwave. That's it. Then allow the people to have things like a crock pot, a toaster oven, and stuff like that. You know, an electric fryer. And the people can live and thrive in these motels very well. They will be able to have a good quality of life. And believe me, that's the most important thing. It's more important than seeing people sleeping on the streets, okay? I can't even take my kids to a playground anymore without seeing people sleeping in the jungle gyms. My kids can't play on the jungle gyms because there's some asshole in a sleeping bag way at the top of the jungle gym sleeping. And most of the time it's somebody who has an income of Social Security and can get a place. But why don't they have a place? Because there's no more affordable places left, because Mayor Sheev had them all closed just to make money from the college. She wasn't working for the people. She was only working for herself in her own pocket. Plus, we need to discuss something she said once, okay, that really sticks in my craw. She said that city mayors should have a bigger voice in D.C. Why does a mayor who needs to focus their problems on things locally need a bigger voice nationally? Ask yourself that. Gee, I wonder. Maybe it's the same reason she has militarized police already. Maybe she's planning on some kind of New World Order citywide shutdown where she'll lock people up to silence them. She'll take away everybody's guns. She'll take away everybody's free speech. And she'll tell everybody, if you want to live in Reno, you follow by these rules. Plus, she won't allow the low income here anymore. Why? Because she wants to boost her fucking social status. She wants to raise herself up into the upper crust where she knows a dumbass retard like her does not fit in. But she wants to make herself fit in by making sure that there are only socialites in Reno. The average rent on a condo now is $4,000 a month. The average rent on a studio is $1,000 a month. The average rent on a one-bedroom is about $1,500 a month. People who are making $800 a month or less cannot afford this type of rent. But she doesn't care. She doesn't care about you, the common man. She only cares about the upper crust and boosting her own social status. But I believe if we work together and get her bitch ass out of office now, we can truly make Reno great again. For love of our country and battle born. Thank you very much, and have a good day.